Ladies and gentlemen, what's up, y'all? We're going to have a great show. Tell somebody to come on in. What's going on, Lady Nicole? I see you. Sir Vaughn, I see you. What's going on? I excel. Lady Hale. Rush, what's good, y'all? We're going to have a dope show. Tell somebody to come on in. Get ready to get to it.
I bought a house in Cabo to shake off my cargo. It went a little bit far though. I didn't blow my top off. 9-6 by Arsenal. I didn't drive my car home when I drank that charcoal. Man, I miss my mom so. Ask me how it feels. I say it feels too real. When you pick up speed towards pitch black weed. Well, you got your thoughts all in there deep. What about your heart? Does it beat too hard? Mine does. Mine does. Mine does. Mine does. I ran around Lake Tahoe. Not once, don't stop, no. Cause I'm a brand new model with a brand new model. Yeah, I called up Carlos, said I won't be calling. He said in my old tempo, it wouldn't make much sense. So yeah, ask me how it feels. I said it feels too real. When you pick up speed towards the pitch black weed. Well, you got your thoughts all in there deep. What about your heart? Does it beat too hard? Mine does. Mine does. Mine does. Mine does.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of Sir Hell Speaks in the evening. I am glad to see everybody in the building tonight. What's going on, everybody? I hope that you're having a fantastic week. I know that I am. We've been having a rough couple weeks, so I haven't done very many lives outside of Super Sunday, but I must report good news that I am doing a lot better now. So my voice isn't 100%, but my energy level, the level of foolery is at an all-time high, and I think we're going to have a great show tonight. Before we get into this, though, let me show some respect to the good people of the chat, because y'all know this is how we do it. So shout out to all those, first of all, those of you who have tuned in, and those of you who are watching from the clouds. We see you, even though we don't see you. Thanks for being in here tonight. Salute to Lady Navoa is in the building. Good to see you tonight. Good to see Mr. Von Bryant is in the building. Glad to see you here. The one and the only I Excel, he is in the building. Lady Hale, oh, she's in the building tonight. She's in the building. Salute to my brother Rush. What's going on, man? Good to see you. I hope that you all is well with you, man. Salute to De Sosa is in the building. Good to see you tonight. Glad that you were here. And shout out to the one and the only Luke Casely is in the building. Very glad to see you tonight. All right, y'all, listen. So we're going to have a fantastic show tonight. We're going to get into some things that I want to speak very candidly, because men who are successful and productive, they need to be made aware of what kind of women to avoid. So, what we've done for the last couple of years is we have rightfully called out some of the toxic behavior we see in many women today. What I've aimed to do is take it a step further and not just call out single modern women, but to also take it a step further and to call out some of the bad and toxic behaviors I see in married women. I did shows like It's a Privilege to Be a Wife, because I believe that we have somehow missed the meaning of marriage, and the leverage have shifted, where men believe that them getting with a wife is the benefit, and that they should just be quiet and accept the fact that they have a wife, and happy wife, happy life, keep her happy, and that's the way life goes. And I simply don't subscribe to that philosophy. I believe that it is a benefit and a privilege for a woman to have the honor to marry a great man. I say this unapologetically, and for every man who is listening, I need you to adopt this mindset. I would go further to say that I believe women, good women, also believe this very same thing. Anytime you have a woman who has been privileged to have a great man in her life, she would likely tend to agree with what I'm saying. That her having the covering, the protection, the provision, the leadership, the love, the dedication, the commitment of a man who is willing to lay his life down for her to make sure that she's protected and provided for. I would say that a woman who has been heartbroken or knows what it's like to have been with men who do not value them would have this mindset that being with a good man is a privilege. So what we're aspiring to do tonight is I'm going to take this and I'm going to bring out 5, maybe 6 different, I might give a bonus one about the 5 different female types that successful, productive men need to stay away from. Now, this is important because there's a lot of different men who, whether they know this or not, they are in relationships that are not going to go anywhere. And because he doesn't have enough life experience, he just doesn't know it yet. He's spinning his wheels. He thinks that paying for dinners and taking her out on dates, and for some guys, that sustaining a marriage or having a kid with somebody is going to be enough to change somebody. Some people are crazy enough to believe that because it's about to be 2023, I know how it is when there's about to be a new year. You guys know how it goes. A whole new year, a whole new me. It's about to be 2020. I'm about to do me in 2023. 2023 is the year of me, right? 2023, I would be all I can be. We get all these things we say, but let me tell you guys something. It doesn't matter what year it is. The year doesn't change a person. People have to change within that year. So if you haven't done any work, if you haven't corrected any behaviors, if you haven't developed yourself in 2022, I'm in to tell you that 2023 is going to look exactly like 2022, and you'll be seeing the very same things when we get to 2024. Does that make sense? The year doesn't change you. You have to change within that year. So we got to get into this, guys. Shout out to IXL. Absolutely, guys. Listen, we have hit 30K subscribers. My goodness. I set out this year, if you guys can remember, a couple months back, I want to say in September, I said that I wanted to get to 10,000 subscribers by January. That was my goal, and I worked my butt off to do this. I'm excited to say that not only have we hit 10,000, not only have we hit 20,000, but we are now over 30,000 subscribers. Man, listen, guys, that deserves a round of applause. That deserves a round of applause. It does. It deserves a round of applause. Yep, shout out to Lady Hill. Absolutely. We're a little bit over 31,000 subscribers. So salute to everyone who subscribed, to all those who are on my lives, to those of you who watch my shorts. It's just been an explosion, and we're really grateful for that. To all of my IG family and TikTok family, you guys have been showing up and providing a viewership, and a lot of you have cussed me out, but we're doing our thing. So we're really, really excited about this. Salute to the Antisocial Socialite podcast. Good to see you tonight. Congrats on the phenomenal growth. You deserve it. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate you. And it is good to see you tonight. Salute to Miss Bravo, which Sheila's in the building. Good to see you tonight. Glad that you are here. All right, ladies. So here's what we're going to do. I'm getting into this because there are a lot of men who are frustrated and a lot of men who will be frustrated Because the truth is, not enough of our mothers, not enough of our aunties, our sisters, a lot of men simply don't know what to look for in women. Not only do we not know what to look for, we don't know what red flags to look at. So shout out to people like Mrs. She Said, the heritage part of the Heritage Tribe, Mr. and Mrs. She Said. She did a fantastic video, fantastic live on some of the green flags to look for. And people like security boss, unsolicited security boss, people like Luke Casely, people like Chantel Simone, people like Courtney Michelle. These people help to obviate some of the behaviors that men have to avoid. Shout out to Coach Greg Adams, who has an unfiltered approach to obviating toxic female nature. Shout out to the culture clinician. I mean, the list goes on, right? And there's a lot of men who we've been taught very superficial things to look for. So if you're religious, then if she's in church, then and she's a praying woman and the Lord are with her, right? Then you look for your praying woman. Well, the truth is, you can find you a woman who's in church, and the woman who's in church can bring the most hell to your life. And that's just the truth. This is not me making up. So I'm telling you things that I know. I've seen people who are great at their jobs, women who just do a fantastic, people love her, great at what she does, awards and plaques. And she's an hellacious mom. She's hard to be with as a wife. There was a story of a husband and a wife not long ago, and I'll probably cover that soon, but they were part of the community. They were part, they adopted some kids. Into the outside world, they were just these lovely people. I think they served in the police force or something to the nature. They work with the local police. And to the outside world, these were beautiful people. I mean, they're pillars of the community. They did great things. To the outside, they look great. What they didn't know, though, is that the kids that they adopted, they starved those kids. I want you to think about this. To the outside world, and this went on for years. They starved children, abused those children. The story reports that the kids suffered from broken bones. They were malnourished. They were locked up. I say this to say, you can't look at a person and think you know them. Like, you can't look at superficial things and assume that what you see on the outside is necessarily a reflection of who they are inside. And a lot of you, we fall in love with the appearance of people. We fall in love with the presentation of people. And we don't oftentimes get a chance to investigate because we become mesmerized by what we see at first. So for men and for women as well, it's important that getting into relationships, you don't become overwhelmed by the presentation of the person. You have to give it some time to understand their character, because people lie. And this, I grew up very religious, and so my goal is to see the best in people. As I get older, the more I realize people just straight out lie to you. I mean, they lie. There are men who are marrying women thinking that the woman is one way, and that woman is not the way he thinks. He is in for literally a hell of a surprise because he didn't know what to look for. So I'm going to help my good brothers, and I'm going to help some of you women on here who may be able to identify with the things that I'm talking about. But before I do this, let me stop here. Let me show some love to the one and the only, the Seattle Black veteran. Thank you so much. He says, salute and respect my brother, Sir Hell Speaks Network. Thank you so much for the $20 super chat. Thank you so much. It's beginning to feel a lot like Christmas. Thank you so much. I see another one comes in. He says, congrats, Sir Hell Speaks, on the 31,000 subscribers. Again, thank you so much. This means a whole lot to me. You guys just don't know. I'll tell you a little story, then I'm going to get right back to what we're talking about. 1 year ago exactly, I told my wife, and salute to Bravo with Sheila, ladies, let's chat. I also want to mention her as well, because not only does she talk about these things that I'm talking about, but she provides counseling as well. And so shout out to you for all you do as well. But let me give you guys a little story time. Story time with Sir Hell Speaks. Last year, I said, if I don't get 1,000 subscribers in this year, I'll give it up. If I don't get 1,000 subscribers, that's going to be my ultimate sign that I'm doing the wrong thing. And it's encouraging because my goal was 1,000. And when I look up at what we do, And I'm like, we got 31,000. So I think we're on the right track. And it's people like you who tune in and who comment and who don't just watch, but people who actually participate in what we do. You help make this possible. Like, you guys just don't know live streaming. You get fickle people. People gonna be there with you sometimes. They're gonna get mad at you. Then they're gonna, they ain't gonna be with you. And then they're gonna come back around. And the one thing you have to be as a content creator, you have to be consistent. And this whole journey has taught me that you can't become consistent based on people. You've got to be consistent based on the message you're trying to convey, and the people will come. So shout out to everybody who stuck with me up to the 1,000, and those who are still here after 31,000 subscribers. I appreciate you. Shout out to my brother Brandon L. Jett is in the building. Good to see you, man. And ladies and gentlemen, Sir Hell Speaks is in the building. Good to see you tonight. And a shout out to Red Lipstick Vibes as well. Good to see you. So, guys, let's jump into this. Let's jump right into this. The very first thing that I want my brothers to avoid is this kind of woman. This is the stem of all of the negative things that a man will experience in his life. It's the selfish woman. It is the woman who everything revolves around her. Everything orbits around her. Everything has to come to how she feels about things. It's all directed inward. It's about what she thinks about something, how she feels about something. It's about what she wants. It's the selfish woman who it's always about her. These kind of women, typically, even if a man is doing something and he's successful, she makes the event all about her, right? Selfish women have a way of draining men who are givers. Guys, this is important for us to hear. Sir, if you're a giver, if your heart is to provide, to take care of your woman in sort of that old school fashion, you're going to have to be very careful, because the kind of man you are, giving men attract selfish women. Guys, I want you to hear what I said to you. Giving men who naturally give, naturally lead, naturally provide, who it's in their heart to make sure that they lift the heavy burdens and take the load, those kind of men typically attract selfish women. And you won't see this at first, because typically those selfish women have pretty faces. Typically they come packaged in a particularly nice way, and they leverage the broken pieces in the man, the insecurities in that man, and she pours in all the love, she pours in all the attention, and she makes it very convenient for you to consistently give her. And you don't realize it. You don't realize it until something that's not related to money comes up, and you need her to give you something that money can't get you yourself, right? So let me give you an example. So let's say you're the kind of man, you pay all the bills, you pay, you pick up the tab when you guys go out, and she doesn't really have to worry about much of anything, because you take care of that. And she knows that all she has to do is stroke your ego a bit, rub your head some, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Throw that thing going, you know what I'm saying? You slapping it, you tapping it, and she's swinging from the chandelier, right? And so she knows that you require so much with so little, while she requires so much. And so what she does is she makes it seem like the little bit you're asking for is so much for her to do. Now, I want you guys to hear this. These kind of women don't think it's a lot for you to pay all the bills. They don't think it's a lot for you to have to put yourself on the line when there's some danger. She doesn't think that that's a lot. What she'll do is will equate what you do with, I can't believe you expected me to cook dinner every night. Ma'am, what? So I can go to work 80 hours a week minimum. For most of us, we have 2 jobs or we work overtime. For those of us who are productive and successful, 40-hour work weeks are not even a thing, right? We typically work 50, 60, 70 hours, because not only are we doing our job, we're trying to get better at what we do. And those kind of women, it doesn't matter if your mortgage is $2,000, $3,000. It doesn't matter how much your car payment is, and the insurance for that, and the maintenance for that, and the insurances for the home, and the dental plans, and the vision plans, and the medical plans, and the life insurances, and in the food bill, and miscellaneous expenses and emergency, the investments and savings. She doesn't care about all of that. So she downplays all of these things. And she ups that keeping the house is so much to do, and that cooking dinner is too much to do, and keeping up with the kids is too much to do. So she minimizes what you do and maximizes what she probably doesn't even do well, because what this is doing is it's pointing to her selfishness, that she can only see what she wants and doesn't prioritize the needs of her man. Okay, let me pause here. Guys, does this make sense? I want you ladies and gentlemen in the chat to let me know if what I'm saying resonates. Like, I'm pretty sure some of you either have done this, ladies, or men, you've experienced a woman like this. She minimizes what you do and she overplays what she does. And you and you might say, you know what? Let me go get an extra job. Let me go make some extra money, some extra income, and prove to her that I really am doing stuff. And no matter how much more you do, she doesn't appreciate what you do because, like, sir, it's not about you. She's selfish. And selfish people minimize everybody else because they have to be the world that everyone else orbits around. Okay? Does that make sense? And so, my dear brothers, I want you guys, you have to avoid women like this. If you don't avoid her, she will drain your life. I want to say this as succinctly and as meticulously as I can. If you stick with selfish women, she will drain you in every single way and will feel entitled to. Here's the sad part about this is when you bring up what you do, when you bring up how much you give, she'll never be able to see it. And no matter what you do, if you were to drop and die now, you will have given your energy and your best years to somebody who couldn't appreciate it. And watch what she's going to do. She's going to find somebody else. And you become a main character in her sad story about the pain she's been through. And she's going to leverage what happened to you as a way to keep another man interested in her, making him feel like he has to prove something to her. I'm telling you guys what I know. I'm telling you guys what I know, right? So you have to avoid selfish women. I'll even go a little bit deeper. Some of you have to avoid your mother if she's selfish. See, a lot of times men pick women based off of their experience in their most intimate, their primitive, their first relationships. And so if you come from a person or you were heavily influenced by someone who was selfish, well, that selfishness sets the template for what kind of woman you go to pick. If mama was selfish and she didn't really care about how you felt as long as you would take care of her needs, some of you got grown mothers today. She doesn't call you to see how you're doing, but there's no limit to what you can do for her. There's no limit to this. If you grew up with a selfish mama, the chances are you're going to pick a selfish wife. And here's the thing. I'm going to be doing a show tomorrow, so you guys stay tuned to this. I'm doing shows pretty much, all this, and I'm going to be dealing with this. That whatever a man comes from, he has an appetite for, even if that appetite doesn't do him well, right? So if you come from a selfish mother, you have to fix that, and you have to distance yourself from her and set some boundaries with your mama. This is why you guys notice this. This is why you will see a lot of selfish women say, "I want to see how he treated his mama." They're not saying this because she's not saying, "I want to see how he respects his mama. I want to see what his boundaries are with his mother. I want to see how his mother treats and respects him." You don't hear things like this. You only hear how he treats his mother. It don't matter what his mama does. His mama could be ruining his life, giving him bad information, prying into his life, stressing him out. And she never asks about that. It's just about how he does stuff. Because typically women who are selfish need a man to shut up and do what you were taught and keep this negative pattern going, and to give, like you gave your mama what she want, give this selfish woman what she wants as well. Let me let that cook for a second.
Sir, hell speaks in the building.
Y'all, does this make sense? Y'all tell me if I'm on it, guys. You tell me if I'm on it. Men in 2023, it's important for you to set boundaries for yourself. Anybody who's a leech to your life, cut him off. Cut your mama off, cut your relatives off, cut your friends off, some of you are gonna have to cut your wife off, cut your girlfriends off. I mean this seriously, because too many men are ending themselves because they give, 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 give. And then when that man needs something, everybody you gave to ain't got nothing to give to you. Your wife ain't got nothing to give to you. She can't even see when you need encouragement. She can't even see when you need encouragement. Your mom ain't really there because she got other stuff that she's doing. And you've surrounded yourself with people who are a reflection of what you had to experience growing up. And so I'm telling you, in order for you to be your best productive and successful self, you got to cut out leeches. Okay. All right, guys. So I think I spent enough time on this one. Are we coming in clear, guys? You guys with us? If you haven't liked this stream, hit that like button. And also be sure to share this stream out. I think I got about 35 people watching now. It's a little disrespectful. These views should be up a little bit more. So guys, help me with that. Share the stream out and let's get people in here. All right. Let's move on to the second one. So we dealt with selfishness. Let's do this one. So the manipulative woman. Now this one is deep. This one is very deep because a lot of men think that we can change women. We think that we can change her. We think that it's a phase and that if we marry her and we put a ring on her finger and we show leadership and we do what we're supposed to do, we think that we can change a woman. Let me tell you something. You can't change a manipulative woman. Everything that she does is in her best interests. And I have to go here. If she has children that are not yours, everything she does is in the best interest of her children. So she'll do enough to keep you invested in her so that you continually provide for her and her children. But you guys are not becoming a family. I want to make this abundantly clear. This ain't about you. This relationship ain't about you. It's about her sustaining a lifestyle for her and her children. Her and her children are a family. They're a package deal. And you either get to benefit from the package, but you'll never be part of that package. And so with these kind of men, a lot of women tend to rely on manipulation to keep these men interested, right? It's very important that you guys understand this because a lot of you guys think that you are getting with somebody and you guys are going to be a family and you didn't hurt the whole bad story. And I told you guys about this. If the woman that you're with, she has all bad stories in her life, everything has been terrible. Somebody has done something to her in every part of her life. And her ex-boyfriend did her wrong, and her ex-husband did her wrong, and her daddy did her wrong, and her uncles did her everybody did her wrong. You need to watch out for that because she's using that to manipulate your feelings, to pull on your emotional part so that you don't think with your rational part. You don't think with your rational self. So she tells you how terrible everybody has been to her. And what do you start doing? Now you got to be the man to prove that all men are not like that. All men are not bad. All men are not terrible. All men are not dogs. And so you're spending all of your time compensating for damages that you didn't create. And it's manipulative. A woman who values you is not going to dump what everybody else did to her and then use that as a method for you proving your love to her. No, she's going to go to therapy first because a woman who really cares about you, she doesn't want to dump all that on you. She wants to present to you her very best self. And women who don't want to be their best selves rely on manipulation because manipulation creates this reality that doesn't exist. And she can avoid doing the real work because now you're treating her based on a story that's not even real. Yeah, I'm giving you too much game tonight. I'm giving you too much game tonight, folks. And some of you now, you're married to wives who are manipulative. And married men aren't supposed to say this kind of thing. You're supposed to just shut your mouth and be quiet and love your wife. And what happens in this house stays in this house. And manipulative people rely on that. If you ever grew up in an abusive household, that's what your parents told you. What happens in this house stays in this house. And so now y'all are 30, 40, and 50 years old with secrets that are ruining you on the inside. But you can't say anything because the manipulator made you believe that the stuff that's wrong, you can't call it out. Well, guess what I'm doing for Christmas? I'm calling out bad
Speaks
behavior
in
for
the building.
Christmas. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, right? We're calling out this behavior because I don't want to see anybody else going into a new year carrying old baggage. And so you're going to have to avoid manipulative women. Manipulation goes into gaslighting. I did if you guys follow me on IG, I did a reel, and I said that there are women who avoid accountability. And what they typically do, the reason why those women can't call out other bad behaviors in other women is because if they call out the bad behavior in other women, it's an indictment on themselves. And too many women would rather save face than to provide help and be honest about what they've done and fix it. And I find this true in every realm. Manipulative people, manipulative women, you will know that they can't hold themselves accountable because they can never hold anybody else accountable. They say things like it is what it is. I'm telling you, watch, I'm telling you. You hear women who say to each his own. That's a kind of woman who doesn't live by a particular set of standards. And she is going to rely on manipulation and on gaslighting to get out of any form of accountability. All right, guys, let me see what everybody's saying here. Sir Ism, what's going on, my brother? Luke Haley, CJ's in the building. Luke Hazley says, indicator of lack of accountability for her part in those dysfunctional relationships. Right. Yep, call it out. Big facts. Mr. He says, sorry, hell, stop talking about my grandma. Right. He said, the sister, absolutely. This is a very big thing, y'all. Some of the women in church manipulate. I tell you this, anytime you get a woman who hear from Jesus all the time, but can't get through a conversation, she ain't heard nothing from the Lord. She ain't heard nothing from him at all. She need to go back and pray and listen. Right? So she relies on manipulation. So fellas, you got to stay away from women like this because these kind of women will gaslight you and will turn a conversation that should take 5 minutes. And now she done shut down. She done got upset with you. She done walked out the room. She done made a Facebook post. You know, she done did something on IG. She everything but talk to you. She did everything but talk to you about it because she would rather get people who don't know the situation involved. Shout out to Miss LaTruth. Did people involved in the situation as opposed to sitting down there, checking herself, holding herself accountable, and perhaps saving her relationship. Nope. Manipulators would rather be right than to be right. They would rather be right in that moment than to get it right and actually be right. And so successful, productive men avoid women like this. All right, let me bring up another one, guys. Here's another big one. Women who disrespect your boundaries. Now, this is huge. If you say, lady, I don't like it when you do this. This is a boundary of mine. And when you do this, I feel disrespected. And she continues to do this. Now, I want to make this point very clear. There is a difference between you calling out bad behavior, and it doesn't change immediately, but you see gradual effort. Like she's doing stuff and she's showing you effort. Like you can roll with a woman like this, right? So it's particularly if you guys have come from backgrounds where, first of all, no one had boundaries. We said what we want to say, we do what we want to do, we act how we want to act, and we are inconsiderate of the next person. Well, this is going to take some time because that is kind of hard coded to the system, and that's going to take therapy and all kind of work to get rid of that. But if you have a woman and you tell her that when you do this, you're crossing my boundary. Do not disrespect me in public. Do not disrespect me in front of my children. Do not overtalk me when we're in the conversation. Like, listen to what I'm saying. Don't deflect when I'm talking to you. Don't gaslight me when I'm telling you I have a legitimate issue. And you establish boundaries. And instead of her finding a way to give you what you need, she relies on excuses and then doesn't give you what you need. Like she defaults back to doing it and it gets worse. That's not your woman. And you need to quit wasting your time on women like that. I'm telling you, fellas, a lot of us, we spend too much of our time trying to fix people who don't want to be fixed. If I'm telling you, if she doesn't mind disrespecting you in front of your kids, she doesn't mind disrespecting you in public. And for successful men, the woman that you have on your arm is going to be critical to your success. And you're not going to have to, you don't need someone that you have to spend time fixing her which distracts you from your purpose. And too many of us men, you're spending your time fixing your relationship, fixing your marriage, fixing, her issues with her, and you haven't even given your business the time that it needs. You haven't finished the book yet. You're not working out like you should. You're not dedicating your time to your purpose like you should, because you're spending your energy trying to cater to a woman who doesn't even respect your boundaries. Shout out to D.O. Saint. He says, salute to you, my brother. Great topic. Keep leading the front, my brother. Thank you, my brother. Appreciate you so much. Thank you so much. Really, really appreciate it. Guys, does this make sense? And it's, again, I'm going to make this very clear. If you communicate that she's crossing a boundary in your life, like, first of all, don't raise your voice at me. I'm not into this ghetto stuff. I'm not into you twisting your neck and you popping your neck and you cussing me out and you got to have your way and you clapping when we talk. Listen, I don't have time for that. You if that's how you communicate, you can go back to your local projects and pick some dude who like that. As for me, that is not how I roll. That's not how I communicate. I have boundaries. Right? And let me make this clear. Maybe the dude's in the product, he probably don't like that either. So let me scratch that out. Go find you some dude who likes being clapped at. Find you a dude who likes being overtalked. Find you a dude who likes what you give, and go give that to them, because I don't have time for it. You get over 30 years old and you got to elevate your voice every time you talk to somebody, something wrong with you. Right? So we have to do this, right? So Luke Hazley says, we are naturally chaotic, and it takes time for some of us to understand some boundaries, especially if others have allowed set boundaries to be crossed. That's a very great point. And this is why I said, fellas, if the woman you communicate to shows signs of effort that she's trying to, like, instead of her cutting you off when you're talking, she cuts herself off when she finds herself doing it, you see progress, you can work with somebody like this. I'm specifically talking about those women who pop their neck and don't give a darn about what you feel, because that's how she always been, and you're not going to change her. This is how she always been. If you don't like it, you can go find somebody else. Those kind of women, send them packing. I don't care how thick she is. I don't care how good looking she is. Let that go, because that's going to frustrate you. A woman who crosses your boundaries won't mind other people who crosses yours as well. And one of the things that a successful man needs is a woman who keeps that man's name and reputation protected. And if she's willing to cross your boundaries, she's willing to risk damaging the very thing that keeps you successful, and that's your name. So get you a woman who respects your boundaries. All right, let's go to the next thing. The fourth thing. This one is an interesting as well. She's a spender. Now, this one is an interesting one, but let me tell you why this is important. When you are trying to build yourself as a man, you're trying to accomplish something. Like, I know my goal, I'm 35 now. By the time I hit 40, my goal is to be a multimillionaire. That's my goal. Men who want to be successful, and not just in terms of financial success, but relational success, business success, community, so on and so forth, the things that he deems important. If you're with a woman and all she does is spend, she has no track record of saving anything. There's no money in the savings account. There's no history of saving money for a consistent period of time. She doesn't have things handed down from her grandma or her aunties that she keeps up with and keeps in good condition. There are no pictures. There's nothing that she saved. Instead, though, she spends, she uses everything, and has the mindset where, well, I can just get it back. Somebody else is going to give it. I got another paycheck coming in. I'm telling you that woman is going to serve as a cancer to your success. It won't matter what you do. It won't matter how much you save, because her mindset is that of a consumer. Whatever is out there, she has to buy the purse. It doesn't matter what you're trying to save. It doesn't matter. She has to have the shoes. She has to have the car. She has to have the look. She has to have the fast food. It doesn't matter what you're trying to save. If she's a spender, she's going to neutralize all of your efforts. And you have two options. Either you're going to submit to a woman who spends everything you have. Shout out to She's So Lucky. Good to see you tonight. Glad that you were here. Shout out to USMC for Life. Good to see you. Shout out to Big Smooth. Glad that you're here. If you're with a woman and all she does is spends what you have, I'm telling you, you're going to be one frustrated man. You're going to be one frustrated man because it's going to look like, first of all, she doesn't give a care about your fatigue and your exhaustion. She doesn't care about the effort it takes for you to provide and to give what's needed. And it's going to make you resentful of the woman that you're with because she spends everything. Everything you get, you spend. You make more money is spent. For men who are going to be productive and successful, you have to get away from people who spend, who use, who take advantage of what you have, and they don't contribute to your success. I forgot who said this. I don't know if it was an unsolicited security boss or Black Men Unfiltered, but somebody had this story that there was a marriage. They were married a long time. And the husband wanted to buy this home. And when they went to go buy this home, I think there was something to the extent that they needed like $25,000 or some amount to put down as a down payment on the home. And the father, the man who had been providing, didn't have this amount of available cash. And so he felt really sad about this. He was really disappointed about this thing that happened. And over time, when they looked to get into this home, he came to his wife and said, "Babe, I don't think we can get this home because I don't have the thousands of dollars required to put the down payment down." And his wife says, "Babe, look, listen, babe, why are you sad? Don't worry about this. We do have the money." And he said, "Baby, what are you talking about?" And she said, "Well, babe, what I've been doing with the money that I have coming in, and after we pay our bills from what you have coming in, I've been putting that money back for us. I've been putting it back and I just ain't said nothing and I forget about it. I have it to go to an account and it just goes there and I don't worry about it at all." And she had the amount of the down payment. She had more than enough saved to put the down payment on the house. It was his money. But what the wife did is she managed it so well that when the time came for him to need that, it was available. This is what good women do. It's not about how much money she's bringing in. It's about her appreciation for what you provide and her ability to manage the finances of the household as well. So fellas, unless you have a woman who has a history of saving some money, of not having to spend everything, you may have to avoid her, especially if you're going to be a multimillionaire, because multimillionaires have to surround themselves with people who are interested in what they have going on. And somebody who just spends is a sure way to limit the speed at which you can accelerate your financial life. Okay? You guys, is this making sense? Now, again, you may not want to be a millionaire. You may just want to get to six figures, and that's fine. The same thing applies. You can't be making $80,000 a year and living a lifestyle that requires $100,000 a year, just so you guys can take great Instagram pictures and portray yourself as successful. That's stupid. It's stupid. It is stupid to do that. If you're making $50,000 a year, you can't spend $60,000 just to make yourself look successful. If she has a problem with going to Starbucks sometimes, if she has a problem with, you guys having date nights inside sometimes, that a date has to be this exquisite, trip to the Bahamas someplace. No, that ain't your girl. Now, if you want that same girl after you get rich, well, that's fine. But for where you're going right now, you don't need anybody to help you spend your money. You need somebody to help you to manage it. So men have to find these kind of women like this. All right, let me go to the last thing, and then we're going to be done. Now, this is gonna piss some women off. These attention whores. My goodness. If you're with a woman and she is hyper focused on her phone, hyper focused on social media, hyper focused on what everybody thinks about her, fellas, this is a huge red flag. This is a huge red flag. If she has to show her If she has to show her everything online, she has to take pictures. You see her, her behind and everything. She got the t-shirts with the nipples out. You know what I mean? She got to, every time she get a new hairdo, everybody got to see it. Whenever she does something, everybody has to see everything. She is a red flag. And she's going to leverage the fact that she has attention, so much attention, to get you to do whatever she wants you to do. Because you're going to start feeling like there's people in her inbox. She's probably attractive and get somebody else. And you're going to feel the pressure to keep her. But let me tell you something. All those women who make it look like they get all of this attention, how many of them are actually getting married and staying married? I'll wait. I'm going to be real with you guys. I'm going to be transparent with you guys tonight. You guys, because she looks good and because she's getting inboxes and she's probably more attractive than most ladies, a lot of you feel the pressure to do more and you tolerate more bad behavior because she looks well. I'm telling you what men do. The better she looks, the more you tolerate, right? If she looked like somebody who would have fell off the top of a tree, she done hit every branch down, hit the pavement, and then got hit by something, you're not going to take nothing because you could do better. But when you're with a woman whose looks are above average and you know that she has more options than you, then you're willing to put up with more. Productive, successful men have to be non-discriminatory when it comes to us not accepting bad behavior. I don't care if you are 3 or you are a 9. There are certain things I do not tolerate because what you don't check early, it'll come back to bite you later. I'm telling you what I know. If you don't check bad behavior and your standards are predicated on how somebody looks, you're going to be a miserable man because women who don't respect you are going to leverage that and you won't get what you need. She would rather be sexy than be submissive. She would rather spend an hour on Instagram than an hour talking to you. She would rather get likes and get the perfect picture for Facebook and for Twitter and for TikTok, and she ain't spent an hour teaching her kids to read. She would rather look good for the camera. Her hygiene is off. She'd rather make sure that the scenery is good for her pictures. Her house is dirty. You understand what I'm saying? She wants the whole world to get this picture of her because she wants the attention. Because attention doesn't require anybody to really look and investigate. We just get mesmerized by what she's presenting, and that's it. And if you get with a woman and she needs more attention than you can provide, you'll always come second in her life. When women who need the external attention and validation from the world, whenever you guys have critical issues that require a time for you guys to talk, she's typically going to opt to get the free attention that doesn't require any intellectual labor. It doesn't cost her much, as opposed to having a sit-down conversation with you, because now it becomes intellectually laborious. It requires her to work and to look at herself and to not just get likes and comments and attention. It requires her to be reflective and to look at something that might not be appealing. And women who just want the attention of others who don't know her are going to leverage that to get out of real necessary conversations because she doesn't want to address the ugly side of her. Dang, this is too good, man. This is good. Is this making sense, my folks? Y'all, this making sense to you? So, ladies, if you're on here and you're that kind of woman who you have to have the attention of everybody else and you can't hold conversations, you can't be accountable, you can't take responsibility for your decisions, you can't own up to any of your wrongs, then you need to check yourself. Because in 2023 and going forward, you're going to see a change in the way that men approach and what we tolerate. What men tolerated years ago, they're not tolerating that anymore because as cute as you are, there's somebody else finer. There's someone else younger. There's someone else who's not as jaded. And men are starting to wake up to the fact that you can have what you want if you're the man that you're supposed to be. All right. I'm gonna give a bonus for y'all. I got a bonus one. I'm gonna give one bonus and then I'm done. If she is undisciplined, now this is huge. If this woman doesn't have any disciplines in her life, she doesn't go to the gym, I say this all the time. If you're with a woman and let's say she thick, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? She thick, she thick as peanut butter, in winter. She thick, right? And but she don't work out none, or she might be skinny and she got a good shape and she don't work out none, but she eating honey bun, you know what I'm saying? She eating honey bun. She got, you know what I'm saying, Pepsis and Caramel. She like that grape sun kissed. You know what I'm saying? She like that orange sun kissed, right? She got the hot and flame Cheetos. Depending on where you live in the city, you can go to the candy house or you go to somewhere to get a little bit of nacho cheese and some peppers and maybe a little bit of ground beef on those hot and flames. And you got yourself a whole little hot meal. You know what I mean? She got her cookies and she got her wafers. She got her Ritz to the side. You know what I'm saying? She got the gummy bears up under there. She got them Oreo, the golden Oreos. She got the lemon flavor ones, right? You know what I'm saying? She got the peaks, the tea lemonade combination going on. You know what I'm saying? She got that going on, and then when she feeling special, she got her little rib tips. She get from the little barbecue joint. You know what I'm saying? She go, if she a burger lady, she got to go get her favorite sandwich. She always at Wingstop, you know what I'm saying? Because she got to get the flats, with the extra ranch, with the extra ranch dressing on top of that, because she got to have that. And in all of these things that she's doing, this woman don't work out now. She don't work out at all. She won't go for a walk. Now, she might twerk. She might twerk for you. She think that if she think twerking is exercising, sir, you might have picked yourself the wrong woman, right? If she's undisciplined, she'll eat anything. She's not trying to maintain herself. There's no standard for the way she presents herself to the world. She's undisciplined. That level of her not being undisciplined is going to show up in every part of her life. If you actually look at this, if she's undisciplined, that actually feeds into all the stuff that I talked about. If she's undisciplined and she can't handle accountability, she'll be manipulative. If she's undisciplined, she'll cross your boundaries, right? If she's undisciplined, she'll spend everything. If she's undisciplined, she's selfish. If she's undisciplined and just need everybody, she needs attention. And it stems from the fact that she's an undisciplined woman. She hasn't had a man in her life to hold her accountable. She's gotten away with stuff for too long. She doesn't listen to anybody who disagrees with her. She rejects any form of accountability. If she runs a red light and gets a ticket, right, and the police stops her and say, you know what, ma'am, you sped and you ran the light, she gonna say, well, she gonna make up an excuse. She gonna try to get out that ticket. Well, it wasn't me. I'm really going through. I'm depressed right now. My husband ain't acting right. Whatever excuse she has to use, she's going to leverage that to get out of accountability because she is undisciplined. And I'll tell you this, an undisciplined woman will never respect the discipline in you. This is why I say this is important, because if you're going to be productive and successful, you don't become productive and successful sitting on your behind. You don't become productive and successful sitting there watching TV all day, every week, never learning nothing, never aspiring for greater. You don't lose weight by sitting on the couch. If she's undisciplined, she won't understand why you have to go to the gym 5 nights a week. If she's undisciplined, she won't understand why you can't spend all your money. If she's undisciplined, she won't understand why you are working on how you communicate and you're working on developing networks with people, because undisciplined women end up resenting men who are disciplined. And so she doesn't like the fact that you're always busy and you're focused. She doesn't like that because it doesn't feed into that selfishness that she has. So fellas, if she doesn't have this, if she don't care about the gym and working out, I'm telling you, a woman who doesn't care about her health cannot care about yours. I wish I could have said this to some men who have died early. I wish I could have told some men who are in who've let stress and overwork mess their health up. If you're with a woman who doesn't care about her health, she will not care about yours. If this, ladies, you're not going to like this, but I got to be real with you. If she's feeding you fried food every night, fried chicken, fried fries, fries, and you ain't had no vegetables. She's not making sure you have your vitamins. You're not drinking water. She don't care about your blood pressure. She doesn't care about your cholesterol levels. She don't care about stress management. And you go back, she don't really care about hers. A woman who doesn't care about your health. Listen, I want somebody to love me enough to want to see me home, not just love me enough that you're going to be there when I'm in the hospital. Because some of this could be prevented. And I'm just telling you guys some real stuff. And even from you guys who are younger right now, this might not mean a lot to you. But if you get with a woman who does not care about your health young, by the time you hit 40, by the time you hit 50, and you have high blood pressure, and you're pre-diabetic, or now you got diabetes, right? You get hypertension. You're gaining weight now. You got all these other symptoms. Now you're at risk for cardiovascular disease, right? Now you got other issues that are going on. If you get with a woman who does not value her health, y'all gonna be eating all kind of foods and snacks and stress that's not good for you. And you can never become productive and successful, because production and success hinges on your health. And if she's undisciplined in her life, even if you're disciplined in yours, it becomes that much harder to sustain that discipline, because you're with somebody who doesn't share those same values. Now, I'm not saying that she has to be skinny. I'm not saying that she has to be a model. I am saying that she has to care about her health, and that she has to show some discipline, because if she's not disciplined in her life, she'll resent the discipline in yours. Okay? I think I've given you guys enough tonight. What do you guys think about that? Now, I said I was going to give you 5 things, but I ended up giving 6 different things, because I want to be as thorough as I possibly can. What do you guys think about what I share with you tonight? I'm going up here now to show some respect to the super chats. Again, I want to show some love to DL Saint with the $2 super chat. Again, with the Seattle Black Veteran with the $20 super chat. And then Seattle Black Veteran with the others $20 super chat as well. Thank you so much. I'm going to play the super chat song, and then I'm going to drop the line for anybody who wants to call in. And I want to hear what you have to say on what we've talked about tonight. All right, let's play the super chat song, and we'll be right back after we pick it up.
Pick it up, super chat. Pick it up. You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. Ooh, I've been on the flex since flex zone. Neighborhood all in your eardrums. I ain't never scared like Bone Crush. Boy, I got God, don't fear none. My line busy, take no calls. Feels like I don't have no flaws. Snakes in the grass, cut those off. Yo, squad shitty, my bros raw. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. Ooh, I've been on the flex since flex zone. Neighborhood all in your eardrums. I ain't never scared like Bone Crush. Boy, I got God, don't fear none. My line busy, take no calls. Feels like I don't have no flaws. Snakes in the grass, cut those off. Yo, squad shitty, my bros raw.
Absolutely, guys. So let me do this as well. I see what you said in there, Chaos. Let me see if I can pull that up really quickly. Yeah, give me just a second. Okay, give me just a second. I'm gonna see if I can pull up something, because I think it's important. I don't even know when I did this. I think it's important for people to understand that when I talk about health and fitness and success, that I'm not just talking about these things just to talk about these things. Everything that I share with you guys is something that I had to do for myself as well. So I'm going to share something that I shared on my community tab some time ago that many of you may have already seen. Years ago, this was me. Now, let me tell you about this, and I'll be real with you guys. This particular part, before hitting some level of success, I was a very depressed me. Very depressed. And depressed for a number of reasons. One, I didn't feel like I didn't feel good about myself. I didn't feel good about me. And the world treated me that way. The people who I cared about walked all over me. Because how you guys see me presenting myself now, I projected that to the rest of the world. And family and loved ones and people I'm really close to, they walked over me. Any girlfriend that I had, a lot of them walked over me. I was a weak kind of passive kind of guy. And as long as I was giving people what they wanted from me, we were good. But I started to resent myself because I was unhappy with giving everybody what they wanted, and I'm suffering because none of the people that I'm giving what they want are giving me what I want. And I got pissed off. I got pissed off at the jokes. I got pissed off with people, say, oh, I mean, there was a coffee shop that I worked at, and I'll never forget the manager and one of the coworkers would talk about me really badly, like this so-and-so is just put me down in all kind of ways at work. And somebody that I really cared about said something really deep that cut me. And I'm talking about when I'm 18 and, I'll be with girls, and these women would literally be bragging about other dudes in front of my face like I'm not there. Oh, it pissed me off. Oh, man, that pissed me off. Guys, let me tell you, it pissed me off. Because at that time, it was said that you don't do that to women. You don't be in front of a woman, your girl, and be bragging about how fine some other girl is. And so I live by that. That's what all the ladies in my life told me. But it seemed like those ladies didn't have no problem with telling me how great. Oh, look at his muscles. Look at how fine that mother. Look how fine he is. Look at that girl. He look good. And what burns a person is you complimenting somebody like that. You ain't never gave me no compliment like that. And what happened? I got pissed off. And when I got pissed off, I said, I'm gonna make some noise. Don't let this shirt and tie fool y'all. Your boy's swole. A couple months ago, you guys saw me. I was eating really good. And so y'all probably saw a little bit of belly. Y'all see how much space this vest got? Yeah, your boy been back in there. I've been juicing pretty much every day in the gym and working out almost every day. Because I want people to understand what it costs to be successful. So they saw this. They saw the little scrawny Sir Hale Speaks. There go a little skinny black kid with the glasses. There you go. And at this particular time, I think I had just gotten a GED, right? If you guys know my story, the last completed grade that I was ever in was the second grade. That's the last grade I had completed. So, you compound all of this. I'm not in college. The last completed grade, was the second grade. I was fresh off of homelessness at this time. All kind of stuff, right? All kind of stuff that I'm dealing with. Now, listen, now, Lady Hale, I love you, but let me tell you something. This is my story, and I lived it, right? And so I dealt with all of that. This was when I was 21 years old. I'll never forget it. And after some things were said, yeah, give me a few years. It took me a little time. Yeah, but give me a few years. I'm talking about in the gym, pumping iron, working, doing what I had to do. I'm talking about I'm eating chicken breasts and having a salad for breakfast. I'm doing the same thing for lunch. I'm working out for 2 and 3 hours after work every single day for about 2, maybe 3 hours. I'm in there getting it, right? In there getting it. And I'm not doing this for people at this point. I'm not doing this to prove nothing to nobody. I ain't gonna lie to you though. When I did get swole, and this, y'all don't judge me too bad, when I did get swole, I put this as my profile picture on one of my platforms, and I went and befriended all them little ladies who had something to say about Sir Hale Speaks. And I'm not going, I know it's terrible of me, but I went and I did that. And, I added people as friends. You know what I'm saying? I added them on there. I sent a little message because I wanted them to see something. And after that, after I freed myself from having to prove something from them, this became about how I feel. I feel good when I go and work out. I feel good when I'm the monster that I am. I'm the beast in the gym. I'm the beast in business. I'm the beast at what I do. And I'm not sitting here trying to prove and let other people make me feel a certain kind of way. No, I put that work in. And you guys can't see all the picture for some reason. I'm not sure what's going on with that. Yeah, there we go. Right? Yeah, until you guys, what you see now. So you guys see me dressing up in shirts and ties now because that's how I do. But behind all of this, we put work in because we've come from someplace. And so if I'm telling you guys about discipline, about finances, and about being productive and successful, I don't talk about this because I'm just talking out something or I heard these points. I'm telling you what I've lived. And for productive and successful men, you get what you do. If you don't get out and go do it, if you don't take the risk and go do it, this channel wouldn't be a 30,000 subscriber channel. If I didn't say, forget what people are saying, people kept saying, he's trying to be the next Kevin Samuels. He's trying to be on. So let me tell you what circles is. People give backhand compliments. He's trying to be the next this person. He's trying to be the next. No, nobody's trying to be the next nobody. People trying to be themselves. And sadly, as Black people, we would rather cut people down and say what they're trying to be like than to support somebody who's just trying to be better than they were the next day. But this what we do is a community. We typically just rip somebody down. Like if we don't like what they're doing, it appears that they're trying to be great, then we got to rip them. And it's sad that we do this. It's particularly sad when other brothers do this, when we're trying to become great at something, or he trying to look like something he's not. I'm trying to be a better me. I'm trying to be a better me. And the truth is, I only hear these kind of things from people who are not putting in the same kind of work that I am. Right? He's just on YouTube trying to get subscribers. Well, what am I supposed to do, man? He's on YouTube trying to act like he's smart. You be on here and sound dumb? What do you want? Because we typically don't know how to support people who are trying to do something great. We just rip them down because we're not trying to be great. And in 2023, us brothers, we got to get out of that. That's why I appreciate all of my gentlemen who's on here, especially those in the background who, like, listen, Brendan or Jet don't be on here, boasting about what he does, but this is one of the most supportive brothers that I know. And I'm not talking about just financially. He supports a lot of people. But every now and again, you'll get a message, bro, keep on doing what you're doing, bro. I love what you got going on. People like Harris Tribe Media, my brother, Mr. He said, salute Sir Hill, always doing big things. I excel. You guys already know the story with him. Always sending encouragement, because when you're trying to be great, you need to surround yourself with a network of men who are trying to be as great. You got to surround yourself with hungry men as well, because hungry men don't criticize because they understand what you're after. All right. I'm done. Sorry, I went on a tangent, guys. I went on a tangent. Salute to Dusto as well. Does this make sense? Successful, productive men must be around successful, productive men. Kevin Samuels said something I really agree with. He says, we can't just be a lone wolf. We got to run in packs. And the reason we do this is because when men have a support system, it helps you keep yourself accountable and keeps you locked and focused on your actual goals. And too many of us men, because we don't want to appear weak and we don't want to appear like we need people, we retreat and we go by ourselves and we live these lonely lives and we never achieve greatness because you're trying to do this as a solo person when the power is in networks. All right? Makes sense? Salute to What We Know podcast. Salute. And this is why I don't talk about it, but I got a network of brothers that I rock with. I rock with my guys, Black Men Unfiltered, What We Know podcast, Fire 100 podcast, CJ and Taz, Rob and JT, Dusto Mandrell. I got a network of people we talk to regularly, because in 2023, this ain't about you being the star. It's about us elevating each other. And if I'm successful, my job is to help you to become successful if you want to be, and vice versa. All right, guys, I think I've said enough tonight. You are the man, hands down. Salute to take heed to the message. Appreciate you. Good to see you tonight. All right, guys, listen, I want to hear from somebody tonight. I think I've done enough talking. Good grief, I talk a lot. So the lines are open. I would love to hear someone to comment on what we've talked about tonight, because men like what I'm aspiring to present to the world. We need excellent women who respect the men that we are, who are protective of our hearts, of our reputation, of our interests, who want to be wives. We need women like this. So anybody who wants to call in, salute to Brandon L. Jet with the $25 super chat. He says, no excuses, Sir Health Speaks Network. Keep doing what you're doing. Absolutely, my brother. Appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. Really, really appreciate you. Listen, guys, I've said a lot tonight, and I would really appreciate somebody to call in and just give me your thoughts on what we've talked about tonight. Whether it's about the 6 things to avoid from women for productive, successful men, or what I just talked about developing the networks. I would love to hear from you. So let me play the super chat song. I'm going to play it twice, and once I get back, if we have a caller, I'll take you up. All right, we'll play this, and then we'll be right back right after this.
Super chat. Super chat.
Okay, guys, so I don't have any callers now, so I'm going to assume that we are all good. Salute to Mr. He Said. Unity. We can be the change we all need in 2023. Absolutely. Salute to Mr. He Said. All right, guys. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the stream tonight. If you have, do me a favor and be sure to let somebody know to come subscribe to Sir Health Speaks Network. We're off to great things. As you guys will see in the coming weeks, I'm going to be dealing with some really heavy stuff. We got Super Sunday coming up. We will be on Super Sunday. And then I got a string of shows all next week that you guys don't want to miss as we prepare for a new year. It's going to be great. So invite somebody to join. My goal is to get my live viewership to above 100 consistently. And you guys can help me to do that if you guys appreciate the content. All right, y'all. It's been real. It's been another one. I appreciate everybody. Merry Christmas to you and your families. I hope that you guys enjoy, and I hope that you guys don't focus on the gifts, but the gifts of each other. I hope that you guys love each other and have a great holiday weekend. Until next time, I appreciate everybody. We'll talk with you guys again soon. Peace.
Let it go. 얼어붙어 like whoa. 띵하고 어지러워. I see. 한여름에도 난 겨울. Yeah, got cold-blooded. Yeah, 너와 있을 때 I swear. 체감온도 zero. 폭설한 기출들. 꿈에도 I wasn't aware. 나만 빼고 넌 모두에게 참 친절해. 배신감이 들어 단판이 태도 머릿속을 흔들니 ibuprofen 그만해 it's time to stop. 승부욕을 자극하는 style. Yeah, 알면서도 마음이 자꾸 내게 가. 안만 빠져버릴까. If you want me back, I'll tell you I'm sorry. If you want me back, I'll tell you stop trying. Yeah, you got me. Let it go. 얼어붙어 like whoa. 띵하고 어지러워. I see. 한여름에도 넌 겨울. Yeah, girl, you're cold-blooded. Yeah, girl, you're cold-blooded. I'm like Rose 요즘 뭐야 모두 스트레스는 gotta let it go 했어 소개팅 데이팅 어플 다 깔아 또 보았어 반대가 끌린대 opposites attract Don't know about me and you, yeah we fell into the cracks Yeah 갖고 노네 no cap 왜 나는 보여 what's happening 객관적일 수가 없이 이미 game white flag and waving fast Yeah I'm leaving back but 말은 don't know만 보면 나도 내 맘 I don't know 이건 love a relationship 헷갈리기만 해 girl I'll tell you I'm sorry if you want me back I'll tell you stop trying Yeah, yeah, you got me Let it go 얼어붙어 like whoa 어지러워 I see 한여름에 더 녹여 너의 cold-blooded Let it go 얼어붙어 like whoa 어지러워 I see 한여름에 더 녹여 너의 cold-blooded Yeah, girl, you cold-blooded Yeah, yeah, yeah Girl, you cold-blooded Girl, you cold-blooded Yeah, girl, you cold-blooded Yeah, yeah, yeah Girl, you cold-blooded Girl, you cold-blooded